excited to have a special drop-in interview today. We are joined by 901 FC's Knight Pickering. Knight, thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
Good. I'm doing very good. Thank you guys for having me on here.
Absolutely. We appreciate you joining us in the midst of the season. No, it's busy time for you always. We'll get into your journey to Memphis, what it's like playing for 901 FC, all that, but we have to start with the basics. Why did your parents name you Knight?
I'm not sure. I mean, I would assume that because my brother is named North, so there's all kind of unique names. So they just went for the unique route. So I have a brother named North and a brother named Knox, and they both have a silent E at the end.
Knox with a silent E
yes.
and North with a silent E.
Yes.
This is fascinating. Where are your parents from?
My parents are from Minnesota, I think. That's where they met. I'm not sure where they were born.
Okay, I know you were born in Birmingham. You've been all over the place.
Yes.
What was your childhood journey like, and other places that you've lived prior to Memphis?
My childhood, I just remember Mississippi mostly because I grew up there from the age of like 2 to 12, and then I moved to Dallas, Texas. So I mostly just remember Mississippi, which is close to here actually. Jackson, Mississippi is where I grew up. So that's most of my childhood that I remember. I don't really remember Birmingham.
When you signed with 901 FC last year, you were the youngest player to ever sign with the club, 17 years old. How old are you now?
I'm 18 now.
Okay, so you're ancient at this point.
I'm an adult now.
You're an adult. You are at the age of 18. How interesting was it for you starting your professional career so young, being the youngest to ever join the club here, and what kind of challenges did you face with that?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was interesting. It was a challenge, I'd say. But since I was even younger than 17, since I was 15, I was training with pro teams and pro environments. So I mean, to finally sign a contract, and now you're actually considered on the team, it was super fun. A new challenge, and then on my debut, got a goal, which was super nice to score when I was 17. I still was a kid. Definitely feel a little more mature since then, I'd
Well,
say.
the goal was insane. Like, this is your first professional goal right here, and it was a bicycle kick. Like, did you ever in a million years imagine, oh, I'm just going to go out and have a little extra flair on that first pro goal?
You know what? I didn't actually imagine I would do that on my debut. I definitely went out there thinking I could get a goal and definitely thinking I could score, but I didn't think I was going to score a bicycle. That's for sure.
When did you do your first bicycle kick?
I was doing bicycle kicks since I was a little kid. All my childhood friends know that I always used to practice bicycles and stuff. So I mean, it was very characteristic to score like that.
You've been doing it for a minute.
Yeah.
So you've obviously played soccer for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
How did you first get introduced to the game? How did you first fall in love with it?
So how I first got introduced, my older brother played. So I mean, I was just around it since I was a newborn, and I started playing when I was 2. So I've been playing for 16 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, I just got introduced because older siblings played it. Both my older brother and my older sister played.
Was it always soccer, or did you play anything else?
I played basketball for a year maybe, but that was it. I didn't really have interest in it. I just played soccer.
It's always so interesting as someone who grows up to end up being a professional in their sport. At some point, I feel like there had to have been a moment for you where you realized, oh, I'm better than the vast majority of other kids playing through youth sports. Do you remember that moment or period for you where you realized?
I wouldn't say I know an exact moment I felt like that. I mean, I just whenever I was playing in Mississippi, I was always better than the kids my age, I'd say. And so I always had to play up a few years, play on older teams to get more of a challenge. So I wouldn't say there was an exact moment I remember. I was like, I'm pretty good at this. I just I kind of knew because I was always kind of good.
Not good and dominating your peers as a 16, 17-year-old is one thing, but then now getting to play against pros and playing against grown-ups, grown men, that's something else. Were there any jitters about making that decision? And then I'll take Jessica's question and piggyback on it. Was there an aha moment like, oh no, I belong here. I'm good enough to be here?
I would say, yeah, at the start there was a little jitters maybe. You're getting to a new level. It's televised now. There's fans watching you, and you're getting paid to do it is the biggest thing. So now it's actually I wouldn't say it's a job, but it's what you do for your living. So, I mean, when you get into it and you're with adults now, these are people who are working. A lot of them have families, girlfriends, all this. I mean, it's just a different game than when you're just a kid playing it for fun. I'd say this year has helped me a lot to like find my place I belong. I'd say I think I've been having a good year, really finding a run of form. So I mean, like I've seen this year that I can hang with these people and hang with the professionals and just want to see as far as I can go.
So what's that process like for advancing through the ranks of professional soccer? You mentioned you were practicing with pros prior to having the opportunity to sign with 901 FC. Was there ever a question for you, like, do I go play college soccer somewhere? How did that work for you?
For me, I just didn't want to go to school, to be honest. I just wanted to play. I just wanted to play soccer. So I mean, for me, it was a pretty easy decision in my heart. Like I knew it. I wanted to go play soccer as soon as I could because in the end, if I was gonna go to college, I was just gonna want to play professional after. So I was like, I might as well start my career as early as I can. So that's just the biggest thing for me. I just always have enjoyed playing soccer.
And were your parents always cool with that?
Yeah, my parents were super cool with it.
What's it been like for you? Because, like you mentioned, like, yes, you're 18, you're an adult, but, like, when I was 18, I was far from being an adult, and I had college to help me kind of figure out that next step of life. But for you, moving to a new city, being here, playing the sport that you've always dreamed of playing and getting to play it professionally, but, like, you're still growing up, you're figuring it out. How's that been for you?
It's been good, I'd say. Yeah, like you said, still figuring it out, obviously. I don't know everything.
We all are.
But, I mean, I guess the guys on my team have helped. Like, just being around older guys, more mature guys, you see how life works a little more than being around teenagers. So that's helped me a lot, definitely. I'd always say I've kind of just, like, had a more mature personality, I guess. Not, but just, like, you have to come here and then you have to face it. Like, you're not with your parents anymore. You kind of just have to adapt and just, like, fight or flight.
Absolutely. What was the hardest thing? What was, like, the biggest smack of reality? Like, oh, I don't have my parents to help me out anymore.
Not sure. Maybe cooking.
I
Cooking.
said,
I'm a decent
that was
cook
me.
now, I'd say, though.
I was
can
going to say,
cook
your
now.
bio on the 901 FC website says you love to cook.
Yeah, I do like to cook now, but I'd say it's like just buying the ingredients and always knowing what you need. Like, obviously, if you have a pantry full of stuff, you can just cook whatever, but you actually have to understand what you need to get and all that.
And you have to get the pantry full
Yeah.
of stuff also, which is a whole different thing. Like, I didn't realize how many different seasonings there were until I opened up the pantry. It's like, you know what? I'm tired of everything tasting like salt and black pepper. Let me go out here and grab some other seasonings. I lived, now I wasn't 18. I was 21 though, and I lived for a year, my last year of undergrad, off of hot dogs, baked beans, and tater chips. So kudos to you for learning how to cook early.
I was going to say early ramen years, and I
Yeah.
once set a bag of microwavable popcorn on fire, and the fire department came, and nothing will make you feel like less of an adult than burning microwavable popcorn. So you're already off. Do you have a favorite thing to cook, though?
No, I wouldn't say I have a favorite thing to cook. I usually just cook every day, the basics, like either chicken, ground turkey, stuff like that. I mean, as an athlete, you have to eat kind of healthy. So it's not super fun to cook what you have to, but I still cook. Some Brussels sprouts. I like Brussels sprouts, potatoes.
Wow, you're
Brussels
talking
sprouts are
like,
underrated.
like a nutritionist is about to go back and listen to this and make sure you didn't veer off the path.
I got to make sure they see I'm eating good.
What's your key to making Brussels sprouts enjoyable?
Just season it good.
I'm not sure
You
I
gotta
believe that.
put a lot of seasoning on it, but I mean, it's easy.
Listen, I've had Brussels sprouts with like bacon and ground beef and cheese in a bun and got rid of the Brussels sprouts, so it's become
Come on.
a burger. But no, you can't make Brussels sprouts.
And also burned Brussels sprouts. Common
Yeah,
theme.
burnt Brussels sprouts
Burned
are
a
the
lot of
best.
things. I actually don't mind the burnt Brussels sprouts because then they're like very crispy around the edges, and they're better than soggy Brussels sprouts, which are the worst kind of Brussels sprouts. And I can't believe we're talking extensively about Brussels sprouts. But hey, that's good. That you got to feel your body, and as you continue to grow, I know your coach has talked a lot about the not easy, but like easygoing process of not putting too much on you too soon, allowing that developmental process to play out. What's it been like working with him, with the rest of the staff, and kind of understanding your growth patterns here in Memphis?
Yeah, it's been good having a relationship with the coaches, not only just like seeing them as my coaches. They've done a really good job, I'd say, of building that relationship with me, like in personal terms. And I can go talk to them about anything if I need help because I'm still growing. So, I mean, I'll still, like, if I need to go to them and talk about the more mental side of the game because they've, especially Glassy's played at a higher level. so you can talk to him about stuff that happens in the higher level and learn from him. So I think they've done a good job building that relationship with me and making me feel comfortable.
What's been the biggest difference for you going from the amateurs to now playing pro?
I'd say the biggest difference is you actually have to earn your playing time and your spot. Like, I mean, when you're a kid, the coaches kind of just put you on the field and all this. But, I mean, once you get to the professional level, it's all about winning at the end of the day. You want to win games. You want to win the league. You want to finish as high as you can in the league. So, I mean, it's the coaches are going to put on the field who they think is going to help them win. So it's about you putting yourself in a position to make the coaches have that trust in you that you can help the team win.
Who are some of the players that you most admired growing up and that you kind of hope to model your game after?
I liked growing up. I liked Lewandowski, Ronaldo, obviously, Messi. These guys were the best. I like Suarez. I like just watching a lot of people that I played in the same position as me.
Seeing Messi play for Inter Miami now, just how wild is it? And from someone who's in the game perspective, can you imagine being one of those Inter Miami players who 3 weeks ago they were their own team, and now one of the greatest to ever play the sport is their teammate?
Yeah, I mean, it would be crazy, obviously, to have Messi on your team, have that level of a guy. Like, he's probably the most famous soccer player of all time. I mean, Ronaldo's close, but like everyone admires Messi. Everyone has a respect for Messi. So, I mean, now that he's on these guys' teams who would have never expected him to be in this league playing on the same team as him when they're playing in MLS like that. But, I mean, and then obviously he's tearing up the league already in these last 2 games he's played, which is crazy.
Yeah, just a casual game winner
yeah.
to start, and then another 2 goals in his last game. It's wild.
I mean, what do you expect from him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even at 36, 35, whatever he is, he's won the World Cup. I mean, he's still a great player. So, I mean, for him to be in the MLS, I didn't think his level would drop off, and it hasn't.
For you, how does the process work now as you play with 901 FC, have the opportunity to tread through the USL? But what are your ultimate goals? Kind of how does that lay out for you through the future?
My ultimate goal is just to go as far as I can. Like, I mean, everyone has a goal. Like, you can set your own goal. I want to go play in Europe. I want to go play in the MLS. But it's just about working as hard to build yourself. Like, if your limit's playing in a MLS or if your limit's playing in USL, just build to that point where you can play at your limit. And I mean, I think my limit can go as farther than USL. I hope so, and I'm going to keep working for myself to build on that. But just to go as far as I can, whether it's Europe, MLS, anything.
And I got to ask you one more thing from a non-soccer perspective because I was fascinated by it. On your bio, your favorite music, Juice WRLD and country music.
Let's go.
I like this mix. I love versatile music selections.
I'm very versatile with my music. I'd say that. I almost like any music if it sounds good. If I hear it and it sounds good, I'll like it. I don't have a certain type. But yeah, I mean, that was like a year ago I said that. I don't listen to as much Juice WRLD, I'd say, anymore.
It's hard. R.I.P.
What about Kelly Clarkson? You like Kelly
Clarkson? I heard a few songs from her. I couldn't name a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Would you consider Kelly Clarkson one of the top 200 female vocalists of all time?
No, not female vocalists. It was top 200 just straight vocalists, was it not?
I don't know. The youths need to be indoctrinated by Kelly Clarkson as well.
You
if you
walked
are
into
listening to something before a game, like what's your go-to playlist?
I don't actually play my own music before the game.
Okay.
I just listen to whatever the guys play in the locker room. Jeremy Kelly does the music, and he plays like a mix. It's kind of like EDM music, like hype up music. I mean, I don't listen to my own music before a game.
Has it felt like there's like an age difference in music? Like, do you feel like you're listening to older people's music? Yeah.
Yeah. I hear a lot of music that I didn't know before, for sure.
Do you feel like it's your job as the youngest person to like educate your elders? Just as much as you obviously take quite a bit from them, I'm sure.
I haven't felt that, no. I haven't felt like I've educated them on newer trends. I think a lot of them are still like on social media
Pretty young.
nowadays. Like now with social media, everyone's kind of educated on the newer stuff. So I would say they're just as educated on new stuff as I am.
Are you on TikTok?
No.
No. What do you do when you're not playing soccer?
What do I do? I still have a little bit of high school I have to finish, unfortunately.
Okay.
And other than that, I just watch TV, watch some sports, whether it's NBA, baseball, soccer. waiting for the NFL to start because there's not really much on TV right now.
Who's your team?
I like the Saints,
Okay.
New Orleans Saints.
Have you been able to become a bit of a Grizzlies fan since moving to Memphis?
I went to a few Grizzlies games last year. So yeah, I'd say I did. I was rooting for the Grizzlies against the Lakers for sure.
Oh, well, that's an easy pick. Well,
Yeah.
Knight, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it between the season, between finishing high school. I know you've got a lot going on, but we're excited to watch you continue to flourish here in Memphis.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It was an enjoyable time. That scarf's looking pretty good on you. Thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely. This was 901 FC's Knight Pickering. Be sure to go out and support 901 FC at AutoZone Park throughout the rest of their season. We'll be right back.